Students, welcome back. So now we'll start the another topic, structure of bacteria, the continuation of our previous topic in which we were discussing about the kingdom Monera, and we have done about the kingdom Monera, different members of kingdom Monera, what was the classification, and bacteria is one of them in this kingdom Monera. Fine. So here we will discuss that what the structure looks like of bacteria. We know that bacteria is a prokaryotic. What is the meaning of prokaryotic? Primitive type of nucleus. It means that there is no nuclear membrane, there is no proper nucleus. Instead of nucleus, there is another structure which is known as nucleoid. So here one by one we will understand that what are the different components of this bacteria, of this bacterial cell. Fine. The first thing it is, I mentioned here, cell envelope. The cell, and what is the role of cell envelope? It consists of three layers. It consists of three layers, and if you will see the function of the cell envelope, we know that these layers will help as a protection. So if you will classify the cell envelope, these are a glycocalyx as well as cell wall and cell membrane. The outer membrane, the outermost membrane, it is known as glycocalyx, and this glycocalyx composed of what? Non-cellulosic polysaccharides. Right? You have to memorize this thing, that this outermost layer, it is made up of non-cellulosic polysaccharide. Now if you will see the structure of this glycocalyx, it can be of two types. What are they? It may be thick. The outer membrane of the glycocalyx can be thick. Okay, when it will be thick, what you will say? It is known as capsule. The glycocalyx, it is known as capsule. In most of the diagram in your book, you will come to know that these diagram like a thick cell wall. Okay, sorry, not cell wall, it's a glycocalyx. But whenever this glycocalyx is of thin, or it's in a wavy structure, it is known as what? Slimy layer. Fine. So this glycocalyx can be of two types. What are they? When the layer will be thick, it is known as capsule. When it will be wavy, it is known as slimy layer or slimy membrane. And what is the role of this glycocalyx? Again, whenever we are talking about this slimy layer or mucilaginous sheath, this structure of glycocalyx is made up of the mucilaginous sheath. It helps in the attachment. We know that we will study that another function of fimbriae also, it is an attachment, but somehow attachment can be done by the glycocalyx also. As well as it will act as it will prevent from the desiccation, or during the dehydration, what will happen? It will protect the layers and act as a protective membrane for the inner layer. Fine. So next one is cell wall. When we are talking about the cell wall of what? Cell wall of bacteria or bacterial cell. So this cell wall is made up of what? It is made up of peptidoglycan. We have done this thing that this cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan, and peptidoglycan is what? Peptide plus glycan. In peptide we have done 4 amino acids, and in glycan we have done N-acetyl glucosamine and N-acetyl muramic acid. If you will see the cell wall of the bacterial cell, so there will be a interlinking or repeating unit of what? N-acetyl glucosamine, NAC, and another repeating unit is N-acetyl muramic acid, NAC, NAM, then again NAC, then NAM. So these repeating units will compose what? It will compose the cell wall of bacterial cell. Along with this, what is the function of cell wall? We know that in eukaryotic cell, it will protect the inner membrane, or we can say cell membrane. Fine, that much is there. Now another thing, cell membrane or the plasma, whether it is a prokaryotic and or eukaryotic, plasma membrane is present. So here I have mentioned the outer one is glycocalyx, inner one is this membrane, it is known as cell wall, and inner to cell wall, what is there? Plasma membrane. So the innermost layer we are watching here, it is the plasma membrane. So what is the role of plasma membrane? It will act as a helpful membrane for what? For the respiration. We know that this bacterial cell is living one, so it needs some respiration system. So it will be done with the help of this plasma membrane. Now another important thing, the space. If you will see here, the space between this plasma membrane and which one? The cell wall. I have shown here with this diagram here, shaded portion. So this portion is known as what? Periplasm. periplasmic space. What it is? It is periplasmic space, or we can say periplasm. Fine. This is all about the cell envelope, and in whole we can say it is a protective layer. Now comes to the innermost layer. Innermost layer, inner to that, what we are saying? Cytoplasm. We have covered cell envelope. Now second thing is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is present in eukaryotic cell as well as in a prokaryotic cell. But the difference is that in case of eukaryotic cell, there are membrane bound cell organelles. But in case of prokaryotic cell, what is happening? There are no membrane bound cell organelles present in this cytoplasm. And we know that cytoplasm is also known as matrix. What is providing? It is providing matrix to the other organelles. Along with this characteristics, if you see the cytoplasm inner to that one, in this another one is mesosome. Mesosome are what? Mesosome are the infoldings of these plasma membrane. When this plasma membrane get infolded inwardly, what it will form? It will form mesosome. I have shown here, this one is mesosome and this one is also mesosome. So mesosome, now what's the function of this mesosome? We know that in eukaryotic cell there are different cell organs like mitochondria, Golgi apparatus. There are different function of these things. So in case of eukaryotic cell, what happens? The ATP production, the ATP production takes place where with the help of what? With the help of mitochondria. It is a powerhouse of the cell. But in case of prokaryotic cell, if there is no mitochondria, so how it will make its ATP? So mesosome will function as a ATP production, or we can say it will act as a mitochondria, so that there will be proper respiration in this bacterial cell. Fine. As well as we have divided this mesosome into two. What are they? Peripheral as well as central. Name itself indicates peripheral means it lies somehow in the peripheral region, and the central one, it means that it is somehow deepen into this cytoplasm. Fine. So this peripheral cytoplasm, the function, what is the function? Its function is that it will help in the metabolism, it will help in the respiration of the cell. And this central mesosome, it will help in what? It will help in the DNA or in genetic constitution as well as in the cell division, because it is near to the what? Near to the cytoplasm. Fine. On the deep into the cytoplasm. Another structure is ribosomes. Ribosomes are also present in the eukaryotic. So here also ribosomes are present, and we know that what is the function of ribosome? Protein synthesis. So here are different ribosome. In here you can see that different dotted I have shown here. What are they? They are ribosomes. In case of prokaryotic cell, the ribosome will be what it is? 70S. Fine. So this is the differentiation between prokaryotic and eukaryotic. It would be 80S in eukaryotic cell, and if you will see the subunits, what it is? 50 and 30S. Fine. It is nothing. It is a Svedberg coefficient. Okay. So here we are saying that these ribosomes are important for the protein synthesis, and they are without histone proteins. Now again we have divided ribosome into two parts, free ribosome and fixed ribosome. It means that free are scattered in the everywhere, and fixed ribosome is fixed into the membrane. When it is fixed into the membrane, we are saying it's a fixed ribosome. And function we have discussed, protein synthesis. Alright. Now another one is chromatophores. These are the pigments. These are the pigment which is present in the autotrophic bacteria. What is the meaning of autotrophic bacteria? It means that those bacteria which can prepare their own food with the help of light. So they are having some pigment. So we can say these chromatophores are also present. If you see any pigment here, these are known as chromatophores. We have to study about it because it is important for preparing its food. Now another one is nucleoid. Very, very important. How? We know that in this bacterial cell there is no proper nucleus, no nuclear membrane. So instead of that, what is there? There is a nucleoid, and this nucleoid is how? It is a single circular structure. it will not be in any linear fashion. How? It will start at a one point and at the same point. So we can say, if you see the diagram here, it is what? It is the genetic material of the prokaryotic cell. Same as in case of eukaryotic cell, we are having nucleus. Inside the nucleus, what is there? Genetic material is present. So here the genetic material is naked. Alright, so we the name which we have given here, this naked genetic material, it is known as nucleoid. Alright, here I have mentioned single circular double stranded supercoiled. Double stranded means it is made up of double stranded. We know the structure of DNA, it is a double helical structure. Okay, like this, it is a double helical structure. So this is in a linear fashion. Here in prokaryotic cell, it will form a circular like structure. Another thing is plasmid. Plasmid is what? Plasmid again, it is a type of what? Genetic material. It contains DNA, but it's not the primary genetic material of the prokaryotic cell. This plasmid contains why we are saying extra chromosomal? It is known as extra chromosomal. It is also known as extra nuclear. It is also known as extra genetic material, because along with this genetic material, we are having another genetic material which is present in this plasmid. And what is the role of this plasmid here? It is very important role that in our biotechnology we are using this plasmid, as well as this plasmid contains two types of factor. What are they? These contain two types of factor. What are they? They can be F factor, and they are having another factor. What is R factor? These two are very important. How? F factor means fertility factor. If any bacterial cell having plasmid, it means that it is having F factor, or these F factor can be of two types. What are they? F plus or F positive strain, and another can be F negative strain. The F positive strain act as a donor one. Okay, it will act as a donor one, and the F negative will act as a recipient one. It will act as a recipient one. So we know that which is donating this factor, it will known as a male factor. Okay, and another one will be the female one. So it will be the male strain, it will become the female strain. So during the reproduction, we know that bacteria also reproduce by different methods: transformation, transduction, conjugation method. So out of them, in conjugation method, what happens that there will be transfer of genetic material from one bacterium to another bacterium. How they are forming? They are attaching with the help of what? They will attach with the help of pili, as well as it will form a bridge-like structure, cytoplasmic bridge. So this F factor can be transferred into the F negative factor, or we can say the donor can send the F positive strain to the F negative strain. So it means that these plasmid contains what? These fertility factor, which will helpful in the transfer of genetic material from one bacterium to another bacterium. Fine. And those bacteria which are having the plasmid, they are known as F positive, or we can say donor one. These are the important thing. As well as, what is the second role of this plasmid? As I said, it contains the R factor. What is the meaning of R factor? It will become the resistant one. It is providing resistance to the bacteria to avoid the antibiotic. If we are providing any antibiotic against this bacteria, so this plasmid will attack on that one, and it will protect the bacteria from that particular antibiotic. So it is providing resistance to the bacteria from what? From the antibiotic. Fine. So this is another thing. After that, flagella. Flagella, we have done on the basis of flagella, we have divided bacteria into different types. So here, if you see the flagella, it may be present, it may be absent, because I have to explain about the flagella. So I have drawn here the flagella structure. It may be one flagella, it may be 2, 3, or overall whole bacterium cell. So here the flagella having different components. What are they? Basal body, hook, and filament. Basal body means that from where it is connected, there will be a ring-like structure. This will act as a basal body of the flagella, and to which this filament is attached. this long thread, this long thread like structure which you are seeing here, it is a flagella, it is a filament, and this filament is connected to some hook like structure. Okay, there is a connection between the basal body as well as filament. It is known as hook. And third one is a flagella. Flagella, what is the function of flagella? The flagella is important for the motility of the bacterium. If flagella will be more, there will be more motile. Now another important thing about the flagella, if we will take the cross section of flagella, so what will happen? You can see that there are different types of microtubules, and arrangement of this microtubules is what? 9 plus 0 arrangement. I am not explaining more about it, only you have to understand it. In case of prokaryotic cell, what will be the arrangement of flagella? The 9 plus 0 arrangement. It means the 9 at the peripheral end and the 0 at the central position. Alright, so it is important thing you must know from the examination point of view. Now another thing, pili and fimbriae. These structure are also important. How? You can see here some finger like projection or the outgrowth from this outer layer. So what will be the pili? What is the difference between pili? If you will see that I have shown here the some taller or some longer thread like structure and some short one. What is the role of pili? Pili are helpful for the for transferring the genetic material from one bacterium to another bacterium, as we have discussed of the plasmid. If we have to move this fertility factor from one bacterium to another bacterium, so what will happen? The two bacterium will attach with the help of these pili. Okay, so these pili are also known as sex pili because it is involving in the sexual mode of reproduction. But that sexual mode is not true sexual, it is a parasexual mode of reproduction in case of bacteria. So we can say that these pili are also known as sex pili, and it is helpful for what? It is helpful for the transfer of genetic material from one bacterium to another bacterium. Now another one is a fimbriae. Fimbriae is what? Fimbriae is useful for the attachment. As I said that glycocalyx is also responsible for the attachment, but that attachment is not that much. But here in case of fimbriae, whenever the bacterium is attaching to the another bacterium or it is attaching to the some hard substratum, it will done by the fimbriae, and these fimbriae are shorter in structure and the pili are longer in structure. These are two differences. Fine. So here we have covered about the structure of bacteria, and in the later session we will study about some useful thing about the bacteria, how we can use these bacteria. So that's all for the session. Thank you.